Hello everyone, my greetings to one and all. This is the second session on producer's equilibrium. In the previous session, you have understood the concept of producer's equilibrium through marginal revenue, marginal cost approach. I am Poonam Vohra from Microeconomics Learning Center. This session focuses on the diagrammatic explanation of the producer's equilibrium through marginal revenue, marginal cost approach. So let's begin. In order to understand the producer's equilibrium diagrammatically, let's continue further with the same numerical example to make a graph. In the previous example, we had taken units produced and sold, which vary from 1 unit till 11 units. Marginal revenue, which is same as price and is same as average revenue, remains constant and is 14 at each level of output produced and sold. So far as marginal cost is concerned, it initially falls, reaches its minimum when 6 units of output is produced and sold, and thereafter it increases. This can be shown diagrammatically when units produced and sold are taken on x-axis, marginal revenue and marginal cost on y-axis. One finds that marginal revenue remains constant, hence one gets a horizontal straight line as marginal revenue. You have already understood that marginal cost is a U-shaped curve, which becomes evident from the numerical values also, as it initially declines and then it rises. So in this process, marginal revenue equates marginal cost at 2 points. One, when 2 units of output is produced and sold, and the marginal revenue and marginal cost curve equates at point F. And secondly, when 10 units of output is produced and sold and marginal cost curve intersects marginal revenue at point E. One needs to focus on these 2 points to decide the level of producer's equilibrium. Let us focus on point F and point E. At point F, level of output produced and sold is ON, whereas at point E, level of output produced and sold is OM. Till the producer reaches ON level of output, he finds that marginal cost is greater than marginal revenue, which is a situation of loss for him. So the producer has to increase production in order to cover the cost. So point F is the point, or ON is the level of output where marginal revenue is same as marginal cost. This is the break-even point. The producer aims to earn and maximize profit. So the production is increased. If production is increased beyond ON level of output, the producer finds that now his marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost. So he incurs profit. The profit gets increased till point S is reached, that is where the difference between marginal revenue and marginal cost is maximum. It seems to be the point of maximum profit, but the producer will not stop at this point and will continue producing, simply because the profit provides an incentive to the firm to increase output. So it moves towards OM level of output, and he finds that till M is achieved, the producers continue to earn profit, though the profit gets reduced with every increase in the level of output produced. The producer can produce to the maximum till point M. If he further continues production, he will once again find that marginal cost is greater than marginal revenue. So it will be a loss for the producer to continue production beyond point M. And at this level of output, point E also represents that marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Now there are 2 points at which marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost, and there is a point which one may feel is the situation where the producer is earning maximum profit. That is where the gap between marginal revenue and marginal cost is maximum. Out of these 3 points, the equilibrium point will be one where both the equilibrium conditions get satisfied. 1. Marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. First condition gets satisfied at point F and at point E. It is not satisfied at point S. So this is out of question. Second condition is that marginal cost is non-decreasing beyond the equality of marginal cost and marginal revenue. Now let us have a look at point F. Beyond point F, marginal cost is declining, whereas beyond point E, marginal cost is increasing, or we say non-decreasing. So it is not point F but point E is the point of equilibrium, because at this point both the conditions gets satisfied. So equilibrium level of output will be OM. In case the production takes place before point M, the producer has to increase production in order to achieve the equilibrium point. If the production is beyond point M, then the producer has to decrease production in order to reach the equilibrium position. Let us focus at point E, which exhibits the profit maximizing level of output, as it satisfies both the profit maximizing conditions of equilibrium. So let us justify that at this point profit earned is maximum. This can be shown by taking into account the difference between total revenue and total variable cost. Area under marginal revenue is total revenue, and area under marginal cost is total variable cost. Let us try to establish the fact that producer does not earn maximum profit on any other point. So at OM level of output, area under marginal revenue is O, P, E and M, and area under marginal cost is O, D, E and M. So the balance, that is DPE, represent profit. At output OT, area under marginal revenue is O, P, R, T, and area under marginal cost is O, D, H, T. It implies that D, P, R, H is less than D, P and E. And at output OL, area under marginal revenue is O, P, J, L, and area under marginal cost is ODCL. That means the area left is then DPE minus ECJ. So still DPE is greater than this area. So one finds that only at OM level of output equilibrium is achieved and profit is maximized. Now assess yourself and identify the correct option out of the 4 options given for the statement. The statement is, if marginal revenue is below marginal cost, an increase in production will usually, option A, leave profit unchanged, B, increase profit, C, increase marginal revenue, or D, reduce profit. Now check your answer. The correct answer is option D. That is, if marginal revenue is below marginal cost, an increase in production will usually reduce profit. I hope you have understood the diagrammatic presentation of marginal revenue, marginal cost approach. With this, the session comes to an end. Also, the entire subunit on producer's equilibrium gets complete. In these 2 sessions, you have understood the concept of producer's equilibrium through marginal revenue, marginal cost approach, theoretically as well as diagrammatically. The next session would focus on supply and its elasticity. Till then, keep learning and keep practicing. Hope to see you in the next session. Thank you.